Liverpool. They haven't won a European trophy since 2005, when they defeated Milan in an epic Champions League final. Sevilla have won the last 2 Europa Leagues and are aiming to make it a three-peat in this year's final. This is the 2016 Europa League Final preview. Liverpool, Sevilla. Hello everyone, welcome to a preview of the 2016 Europa League Final between Liverpool and Sevilla. Liverpool, they're aiming to claim their first trophy, their first European trophy since 2005. That year they won the Champions League by beating Milan in penalties. They're up against Sevilla, who has been a very successful team in European football, especially in the Europa League. They have won the last 2 Europa titles and are going for their third this Thursday. So they're going for the three-peat, and they are going to be a very hard opposition for Liverpool to stop. Okay, so let's start the preview with giving you the basic match information of the Europa League Final for 2016. This is all Australian information, so if you live in Australian Eastern time, then this is all dedicated to you. If you've got a different time, then do check your local fixtures. So the 2016 Europa League Final between Liverpool and Sevilla is this Thursday, the 19th of May at 4:45 AM, so a very early start for Australians wanting to watch this final. It will be held at St Jacob Park in Basel, and it will be live on BN Sports 1. That is on Foxtel. You have Foxtel and you have the sports package. You don't have to pay an extra cent for BN Sports, which is absolutely excellent. Fox Sports just recently basically linked up with BN Sports, and now they are part of your sports package. 3 channels are, so that means you get to watch the Europa League Final without having to pay a single extra cent. It is fantastic, and I'm absolutely looking forward to watching the Europa League Final this Thursday morning. Okay, let's go through the Europa League history for these 2 clubs. I'll start with the side from Anfield, the Reds. Liverpool, they won their first Europa League Final back in 1973. 2 years later, a couple of years later, in 1976, I guess that's 3 years later, isn't it? They won their second Europa League Final. They then won their last in 2001. So that was their last Europa League Final. They're looking to add a 4th Europa League trophy to their name this week. As I mentioned at the start of the episode, Sevilla has been successful in European football, especially over the last few years, and especially in the Europa League. They won their first back in 2006, during the 2005-06 season. They won again the next year, so they got back-to-back in 2006-2007. They then won another one a few years later in 2013-2014 season. They won their last year in 2015. So like I mentioned, they are going for the three-peat in this week's Europa League Final against Liverpool. Okay, time now to have a look at the road to the 2016 Europa League Final. We're going to look at the games that got these 2 teams to where they are going to be playing this Thursday morning. So I'll start with Liverpool, the EPL side, of course. Klopp has come in at the start of the season, basically quarter way through the season after Brendan Rodgers got sacked, and has guided this team to a chance to get their 4th Europa League title. I'll start with their first game. It was against Bodex away from home where they drew. They then went and versed Sion FC. They drew that one 1-1 at home at Anfield. They then versed Ruben Kazan at home at Anfield where they drew that 1-2. So they actually drew their first 3 games in the Europa League season for 2015/16. They versed Ruben again away from home and actually got their first Europa League win. They then won their next Europa League game at home against Bodex 2-1. They then drew their last group game. They were in Group B, by the way, against Sion 0-0 away from. In the round of 32 in the first leg, this was away from home. They got a 0-0 draw, but in the second leg they were able to make it 1-0 and win the round of 32 match. And then they went on to win the round of 16 match. They got off to a good start. This was against Manchester United. They got off to a good start in the first leg, making it 2-0. Manchester United did hit back in the second leg, getting a goal, but Liverpool was able to get another goal, and it ended up being 3-1. In the quarterfinal, they versed Dortmund. They were away from home. First up, they got a crucial away goal. It was 1-1 in the end in the first leg, but they did get a crucial away goal, which is, well, what won them the game, really. But then the second leg was absolutely madness because it was 4-3 in the end, so that away goal really didn't matter because they were able to get 5 goals and in the end win 5-3 over the 2 legs. So they were through to the semi-finals. They were up against Villarreal, and well, they actually lost the first leg 1-0. So they conceded and were down going into the second leg. They were able, to their credit though, be able to fight back in the second leg and win 3-0 at Anfield. Fantastic win for them, and they are through to the final against Sevilla. Now Sevilla took a different path to the Europa League final this year. They were actually in the Champions League for this season, however didn't qualify for the round of 16, so instead they went to the Europa League as Champion League clubs do if they didn't qualify. They were up first against Model, and well, they won pretty convincingly 3-0 in the first leg. They conceded a goal in the second leg and in the end finished 3-1, but they actually won that game. So they lost the second leg away from home, but the damage was already done in the first leg, simple as that. FC Basel they're up against in the round of 16 match. It was 0-0 in the away leg for them. This was the first leg. They won 3-0 again away from home and did the damage in the second leg this time, and were able to win 3-0 over the 2 legs. In the quarterfinal, they faced a tough test against Athletic Bilbao. And, well, in the first leg, it was 1-2 with Sevilla in front. They had 2 away goals, which was really crucial going into the second leg. However, Albabero was able to fight back in the second leg, get 2 away goals and make it 1-2 to level the scores at the end of the game. It went to extra time. It then went to penalties, and in the end, Sevilla was able to win on penalties 5-4 to put them through to the semi-finals. Now, they're up against Shakhtar. They drew the first leg 2-2 away from home, but then did the damage in the second leg like they have been doing, and they won 3-1 in this game. So they won the semi-final, and now they're through to the Europa League final against the Reds, Liverpool and Basel. Okay, let's have a look now at one key player from each team for this Europa League final for 2016. I'll start with Sevilla. And, well, Kevin Gamiro, he is an interesting striker for this club. In fact, his responsibility really heated up at the start of last season, last summer. And, well, he's done very well in the Europa League. He scored 7 as well as winning a penalty against Bilbao. Like I mentioned, they won on penalties and he scored the winner. So he's been a very interesting and a very exciting player for this club. And he will be the key player, I reckon, for this final. He needs to be in form if they're going to win the game, especially away from their home ground, because they don't really have much of a good away record in this Europa League since the round of 16. So he's going to be the key player for Sevilla in this final. Liverpool's key player, I've gone with Roberto Firmino. He's an interesting player that they brought in last year in the transfer window. Has only scored 1 goal in the Europa League, but has had 3 assists and has been on the great end of those assists. So he's been a very key player for this club in not only the Europa League but also the EPL and so forth. So he's going to be a very interesting and also key player for Liverpool. He's played 12 Europa games for the club this year. If he plays, then he will be one of the key players that Sevilla needs to watch out for, and he needs to be in form for Liverpool to win this week. Okay, so my tip for this Europa League final, I think it is going to be a classic. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes right down to penalties, but I think Liverpool are going to take it in extra time. The final score will end up being 2-1. Liverpool will win in extra time, as I mentioned. Maybe Sturridge, maybe Firmino getting the finishing goal, possibly someone else. It will be a very interesting game. Sevilla are going to be hard to beat. Let's face it, they have won the last 2 Europa League finals. They know what it's like, but I think the away record for them this season, and this is going away from home, even though Liverpool are as well, their away record hasn't seemed to be that flash, and Liverpool's hasn't seemed to be that flash either, but they have won games away from home in the Europa League. So it's going to be a very interesting clash. I think Liverpool are going to win this game. I think they're going to win their first European silverware since 2005. They're going to win their first Europa League since 2001. I think they're going to win 2-1 in extra time. It's going to be a fascinating final. I cannot wait. Of course, you might remember they actually lost the Capital One Cup, so they had a chance to get some silverware early on in March, but they couldn't quite do it. They lost that game on penalties against Manchester City at Wembley, so they'll be looking to hopefully put this in the bag and win some silverware this season and make it a good season in the end for Liverpool. That's the aim. Okay, so that is it for this preview of the 2016 Europa League final between Liverpool and Sevilla. I hope you enjoyed this preview. Hope you got something out of it. Enjoy the final this week, wherever you may be watching around the world. I cannot wait. Don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. I do a lot of other football content on here as well. I'm going to be doing an FA Cup preview as well as a big preview of one of the big matches, one of the big finals ever in the world. That is the Champions League. So stay tuned for that. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Jacob. Enjoy the Europa League final. Until next time, bye for now.